Did you ever play pretend when you were a kid? Wasn't it awesome? In the blink of an eye, you could become an astronaut or a teacher, a firefighter or a soldier, a professional athlete or a parent. Man, I really wish I could still play like that. Of course, my wife would think I'd lost my mind if she came home one day to find me strapped in a recliner wearing a helmet making rocket noises. And from what I've heard, folks tend to frown upon grown-ups pretending to be police officers. Yep, these days pretending can get us into trouble. As a matter of fact, at some point in your life, more than likely, pretending has gotten you into some trouble because, if you're like most Americans, you've pretended to have more money than you actually do. Of course, all that's made possible by this thing called credit. Thanks to credit, we don't have to be rich to buy anything and everything we want. We can charge it. And for a while, this game of pretend is a lot of fun. But eventually the fun comes to an end. When we whip out that plastic to buy a shiny new toy we can't really afford, we don't just end up with the new toy. We end up with debt. Granted, it's okay for a while, as long as the income can keep up with the outgo. But eventually, there's going to be a hiccup. Your air conditioner goes out. You need new tires. Your kid gets sick. You lose your job. And then the fun and games really come to an end. Calls from bill collectors, sleepless nights, money fights with your spouse, a horrible fear every time they run your debit card at the grocery store. Every day, the weight of that debt gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Wouldn't it be great to just strike it rich one day, win the lottery, or get an inheritance from a long-lost relative? You know what I'd do? I'd get rid of debt. Not just mine, but other people's too. Can you imagine how incredible that would be? Look, I've been in debt. I know how horrible it can be, and I also know how life-altering it would be if someone could just make it all go away. With the stroke of a pen, I could change a person's life. All the stress, the worry, the guilt, the uneasiness, the embarrassment, and the fear would all be gone. That immense weight would be lifted. Wouldn't that be awesome to do that for someone? Wouldn't it be awesome if someone did that for us? Dear friend, that's exactly what Jesus Christ has done for each and every one of us. Throughout our lives, sin has thrown us deeper and deeper into debt. The weight of our unfaithfulness and the pain of its consequences grows heavier and heavier. Eventually, the guilt, disappointment, fear, and sadness become unbearable as the reality of our debt impacts our lives more and more. But hear the good news. On the cross, Jesus Christ took all of that debt and paid it off with his life. Because of his death and resurrection, our sins have been forgiven, our debts have been erased, and we have been set free from the weight that has imprisoned us for so long. Thanks to Jesus Christ, you don't have to pretend to be debt-free. You already are. I'm Pastor Stephen Mims, and that's your word for Wednesday. May God bless you.